Okay, we're live. Hello, people. Um, this is going to be the last candidate interview for today. We will be back again tomorrow. But for today, we're finishing off with Kealan, who's going for gender equality senator, I believe.
Correctly. Very correctly. Yours truly.
Cool. Truly. So I've already said reviews for anyone watching. It's going to be the first half is about the campaign, and then the second half is the quickfire round, which is always fun. And hopefully me and Kealan don't look like we're trapped in pixel hell too badly, and hopefully you can all hear us. My Wi-Fi is terrible because
Once you're in pixel hell, you do. Should I preface with something? What happens is you and I are lagging is we might accidentally interrupt each other. That happens with these things. But Dermot, we work with it. We are the union, Dermot. We're the union.
Yeah, we'll get through it. Okay. So first question is, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running.
Me. I'm Kealan Hilley. I'm a very human creature that happens to also exist. That's on my resume. I am third year anthropology and politics. Well known for being a dimwit, but masterfully a dimwit, I might add. This is my second year. This is a victory lap for me in gender equality. Hopefully, if that horrible creature Ron doesn't try and depose me after all the hard work I've done. Sincerity. Gender equality is very important to me, merely because equity and marginalization frightens me. It's almost like a fear and trembling impulse when I witness it in other people, and I see very lived in experiences and people whom I always want to see be platformed and to actualize policy and contribute to the university integrally.
Very good. So our next little bit is to describe yourself in 3 words.
How could I put it? I would say skeletal. I have a lot of bones in my body. And I happen to have skeleton. Yes, I'm a skeleton. I look like a skeleton too, a little bit. Skeleton, sugary. I think I am. Did your power just go out?
What?
Did your power just go out? No?
No, my father just came into the kitchen and turned off the light. That's what happened there.
You want to do that, please, for your own beautiful sake? Do you want to?
Yeah.
I love the muffins. It'll work. I'm going to take this off. So I'll speak. I'll just continue. I was saying I am a sugary creature. You put me in your coffee in the morning and I help you get through the hard part of your day. Also, I would say how could I put this? I would say caffeinated too. I'm a very caffeinated creature. I'm constantly in motion. I baffle medieval scholars. That's all I have to say.
So skeletal, sugary, and caffeinated.
Yes, skeletal, sugary, and caffeinated. Thank you.
I have to say, most unique answer to that question I'd say we'll ever get in this entire week.
Thank you. It's also right. It's true.
Okay, so you already know the answer to this question. For most other people going for candidate positions, it's sort of hypothetical.
Yeah.
What do you think this role entails? Because you already know. Kealan, by the way, is already the gender equality senator, so he knows exactly what he's doing.
Thank you for mentioning, Dermot. You hero. I even
That's what Harry has to say.
My hero. Sorry, thank you. I love the. But what was I mentioning? I actually want to discuss what even equality is, because I think that's kind of a buzzword, and I think it's a spooky buzzword. Ask me the question again, just because I'm a creature that does not stay on track, so keep me on track.
Okay. The question is, what does the role gender equality senator entail?
look at me start a very sophisticated answer and be like, oh my God, I forgot twice. I naturally think it's holding assurance for a lot of every form of gender expression on campus, and ensuring that they get the forms of recognition that they deserve, whether it be through, I think it's kind of like a politics of recognition to some degree, where it's you must, it's somewhat ensuring, well, it's obviously working with of a lot of the executives, you know, like some of the higher up roles, to ensure that everybody's recognized for who they are, which is not as easy and accessible as may seem, because oftentimes, I don't know, some of the bugs get coded into the system, and to actually deconstruct a system is very difficult. So I'd like to even focus on the word gender equality, or the words, because equality is quite, it's not quality isn't quite the same as justice, because justice, I think, relates to a kind of systemic reform where you have to end a system to some degree, whereas equality tends to be whether or not that system is efficient. And so what I like about the word equality, even more so than equity, despite equity also being vital, is equality implies that once that is reached, then a system has been optimized and made to be the best thing that it can possibly be. And that's what I would also say. It's focusing on promoting the lived-in experience of every gender, but also trying to see how you can reform a system bit by bit in collaboration.
Wonderful.
Namaste.
We'll love to hear it.
Namaste.
That's excellent.
Thank you so much.
The next question is, it's sort of, what can you bring to the role? But I guess more accurate for you is, what have you already brought to the role, and what can you continue to bring?
What have you brought to the table
that Ron can't?
What did you say to me? Repeat it. Repeat
I said, what can you bring to the role? So for you is, what can you do that Ron can't?
That's a very difficult question. I can lie to the public, you know. I can exploit resources. I can gain clout. What do you want me to say? No, this is a critique of Ron, okay? This is an honest critique of Ron. I think I'm often quite concerned about accessibility to resources on campus, supremely, because it's very a student is a kind of worker, and I don't actually see students conceptualized that way often. They're kind of laborer, and I actually think that the recognition of gender, and the recognition of structural issues that worsen the circumstances of people with certain gender orientations, it can get coded into a system, and so it's finding modes of not just remedying that, but drawing attention to it, and allowing people actual voices within those spaces to remedy those things just merely by speaking. Just thinking about that, every little aspect that includes the role. So I can also just talk about what has occurred across the year. I'm the leader of a gender and sexuality caucus. We, with the wonderful work of our amazing LGBT Senator Low Boyle, have established a T fund, or it's incoming. Basically, it's in the works, but it's a transition fund. So if students that are transitioning can, with a receipt and get the welfare that they deserve, they can get money for that by proxy.
Is that caucus? Is that part of the university? Like, is it with the SU and all them, or is it something separate?
Good question. My hero, with all the questions that terrify me. Point being, Dermot, a caucus is basically a group in the Senate, and it's built out of senators, and all those senators work together. So we are working together to remedy issues around gender and sexuality. And we're also, another point is just, and I think it applies to everything that's been mentioned so far, is the recognition of pronouns across campus, because you've probably seen the horrors of Microsoft Teams and how it's just your name, and it's often the dad name of students, and a dad name, if anybody doesn't know, is the lead that students don't often use. And that seems to be ubiquitous around campus. But fortunately, after the lovely work of me constantly asking questions and people that are smarter than me helping me ask those questions. Fortunately, that's being remedied with the sorry. It's not even the magic department. The magic department. The magic department. What's it called? The where people sign up. Come on, you got the big brain. Help me out, please.
The registration department.
The registration office. I knew that. I was so on with that question.
No, you got it. All the words are in there. They just need help coming out.
Fish them out. Can you just answer the questions for me, please?
Yeah. Okay. So you've already sort of talked about how you're involved with the university just there now, which was the next question. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how your campaign has ran? Because this year is just so different with running a campaign than any other year before. So how have you been managing that?
Me, I want to respond to that in a more widespread way and in a way that's kind of local to me. Thinking about that, I have a manifesto that's still in composition. I wanted to drop it a little later relative to other candidates. Excuse me, rather just because I don't like bombarding students where it's just you just see a face and then it falls into some of the foibles of electoral politics where students really don't get the opportunity to see how you can represent them, but they rather just get to see all these senators' beautiful faces, and I love these beautiful faces, and they have so much to bring. But that's why I want that to be heard. Thinking about that, how has my campaign been actively running? I am also resubmitting, jumping back into the gender equality senatorial role, merely also for maintenance. I just want to make sure that everything that we've established and all of senators in the past have established is ongoing. I'm a big fan of virtualization, actually. At the outset, horrible pandemic. Horrible pandemic. Horrible. We'll go with horrible. I want to. I would actually love if the university would continue to record lectures online, because I think that's a form of equity that could help students that are disabled and they don't feel and homebound by proxy feel like they can't actually attend college. I actually think this revolutionary change horrors.
I agree with the recorded lectures, like just in terms of accessibility. Like even people, it's not even generally like people who are confined to a wheelchair or anything like that. It can be simple as something who's dyspraxic or dyslexic, and having a recorded lecture allows them to take notes and write stuff down just at their own pace. So yeah, I've seen a lot of discourse about like people wanting recorded lectures to stay a thing, and I think they should. Because it's one of the good things that's come out of this whole thing.
If only, you know.
Yeah, of course, recorded lectures means that they have to keep Moodle, working, which they seem to have to keep, but
that's unfortunate. Maintenance issues, unfortunately, across campus. It's just all the equity you can provide. It's like multiple modes of education. I think it's democratic. I'll let you go because we're following a time limit. I think how responsible and time managing I am. I'm so brave. I'm just so brave.
And you're excellent. Don't worry, we're on time. We're almost at the quick fire round. You'll be happy to know, and that generally goes by rather quick, as the name implies.
I'm gonna take my.
Okay, so this is sort of you see, even in your description of the role, you've answered half the questions I had. So how do you plan on campaigning for the students in the Senate? Like, is there a plan for how you engage with problems or even gather the problems?
Right. You need to huddle up with me here, okay? You need to come closer. Mm-hmm. Come closer, okay? This is just we're not recording or anything. We're not live. This is just between you and me, and also this person. Sure. Mm-hmm. This is so. Yeah, I love it. But like, point being, I want to. So it's just the three of us. It's very intimate. But more direct. Don't tell anybody. I want more direct democracy, both on Senate and on campus. I want to. I know I'm a gender equality officer, but I think gendered issues permeate all aspects of life, and also class-based issues and racialized issues. But I want more forms of direct democracy around campus, which fortunately a lot of the other MSU candidates also vouching for. But how I want to do that is I actually want to some degree, democratize deadlines so that basically students can vote and consult with their lecturers in advance about when deadlines are most ideal for them, rather than the deadlines just be imposed top down. Because oftentimes, students come from like a mishmash of departments, and lecturers don't quite know how to order things, and you find all your final essays coming at once, and that's just really, it doesn't lead to student success or comfort, or it's not caring of students to some degree, but also democracy. I want to do very sneaky, I want to do a very big sneaky, and I want to bring a form of direct democracy onto Senate, but I'm still kind of working on that, and that means the direct representation of students that would otherwise need to consult senators. But you didn't.
I'll keep that. Yeah.
Between you and me, okay? Nobody knows. So direct representation, and also enforcing the students, of course. It's more, I want their lived-in experience to be heard by a lot of senators. I actually find it low-key inefficient for I think for individuals who have to outsource to senators individually for labyrinthine social media pages that take people ages to respond to. I like that accessibility. And I'd rather they speak to a breadth of senators all at once, a breadth of representatives, more that's wide spanning, because maybe this horrible gender equality officer won't care about gendered issues on campus. So perhaps I would like to speak to everybody. Yeah, it's accountability in that sense, right? And people can
exactly
lies together.
Yeah.
Amen.
Excellent.
Thanks.
I love you. You're full of ideas, and those ideas are genuinely excellent, especially the stuff about sort of democratizing deadlines. Because I always find that I send quick
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Are you back? I need to give you a second because I want. You're breaking up, Dermot. No. Let's just give it a sec. Come back. Hey. Okay. Hey.
Hello.
It's kind of working. It's back. I can hear you, though. I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello,
you can hear me.
I can hear you now. Good. Transparent, clean, crisp, Dermot-esque. Oh no.
Back.
Are you back? You're back. Good. Good. I'm getting most of you. Do you wanna go for that statement again? Because we're going to talk about democratized deadlines, and I need to steal your ideas. Oh no, you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. This is what it says on a platform. This is what it's informing me. So hopefully this is a very intimate encounter, for my host has jettisoned out of here. Oh, and the great hero returns. Rejoice. I would have got the ukulele if Dermot didn't swoop in. You know what's Dermot Kane, not Let's Lane. Dermot Kane, sugar cane.
Okay.
I had to entertain someone. There we go. We're back. We're back, cousin.
I'm just gonna put up this message. And
what are you saying? What are you saying?
Okay. I think we're back.
You're back. You're back.
I think we're back.
Apology not accepted. I'm kidding. You're so sorry.
Okay. What I was going to say, the democratic deadline thing's good idea. Cross departments, cross lectures, cross modules. That's good. That's all I need to say on that, because that statement was us up. We're on to our final minutes. Okay. Just trying to speed things along. So it's now time for a quick fire round, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Just try to answer these. No thought, just words. Just, you know.
I've been doing that so far.
Excellent. You're a natural. So, tea or coffee?
Coffee. I just said I was caffeinated. Do you see the way
I know.
questions in advance?
I'm reading through the list, okay? Cats or dogs?
I'm really cruel. Dogs. Perhaps dogs.
Okay.
I'm a dog.
Favorite TV show?
Oh my god. Think. I would say Deadliest Catch because I can't swim and it's funny.
Deadliest Catch is quality entertainment. I'll give you that. Favorite film? And bear in mind, when I say favorite film, I am a media student, so you will be judged by me.
Oh, perfect. I'm from Trinity. I like to turn on Citizen Kane from now again. You know, I record the DJ player with 2 Bentleys in the garage. Something like that. Pompous answer. Nice. I'm so smart, etc.
I'm going to change my first name to Citizen, actually.
Yeah, that's the joke of the season. I'm sorry for being so stupid. Please.
Actually, we had a film module last year. The media studies, people do media studies have this module in second year. And part of the module is watching Citizen Kane because it's like a movie from each decade. But what my friends did is we basically photoshopped a poster based on the movie. Like the movie's film poster, we edited and make dumb jokes at it. But for Citizen Kane, they put my face onto Orson Welles and 2 other girls, Rosemary and Rachel, were on the thing as well as my ex-wives. So yeah,
I'm going to use that as a campaign poster. That's my plan. My favorite movie is Kung Fu Panda. I'm lying to you. Go on, next question. Come on.
Kung Fu Panda is excellent. What are you most afraid of? It's kind of a loaded question, but like just your basic phobia.
What am I basically afraid of? The lack of freedom in the MSU. No, I hate subaqueous creatures. There's something about very slimy creatures. They're so cute. I used to have a real phobia of octopuses, but I think octopuses are beautiful now. I think frogs haunt me a little bit, reminiscent of the plague. And you know, I'm kind of a plague coming too, so I relate to them, and that's why they creep me out. Frogs.
Okay. Good answer. Frogs are kind of scary. Can kill you. Okay, yes. If you could be in any language, what language would you choose?
Oh, if I could speak any language masterfully.
Yeah.
Oh dear God. English, which is extremely unimpressive. What a colonial legacy for an English speaker to be like, English. I study English, Trinity. By the way, let me give a genuine answer. I would say, I don't know. I would speak Greek. I would definitely speak Greek. Classical Greek.
I knew you were going to say Greek. I knew you were going to say Greek.
Why? Answer me.
Because philosophy. We do philosophy.
That's a very good point.
I knew you were going to say like Latin or philosophy. Or Greek, rather.
Every philosopher that has written has regretted it soon after. Descartes spawns to mind where he's like, oh, I wrote this in Latin, and then nobody reads his shit, and then everybody reads his shit. It's unfortunate. We'll go.
Okay, Apple or Android?
Apple or Android? I want the invasion. I want like the crippling surveillance. I want like it to like wire itself into my dopaminergic system, so I am like reliant and debilitated by it. So I would definitely say Apple, because Apple's so invasive. They conduct tax evasion in Ireland, on the Aran Islands.
Oh yeah.
Big fan of that, you know. It's pure evil and it's streaming directly into my bloodstream. I love it. Perfect. Mwah.
I always say that like the most capitalist country you can, or most capitalist company is Apple, because whatever about Android, they make phones that are expensive and PCs and everything that are expensive. But Apple make phones and PCs that are expensive and can only be fixed by them, which is just genius marketing wise.
Need to even talk about AirPods, but like, what's through.
Okay, so this is the final question. Very important, very topical. Are they a cake or a biscuit?
What did you just ask me? This is a very personal question, but I need to hear it again.
Are Jaffa cakes, or biscuits?
All right, this is classical, right? You know, I've had a history with the Philosophy Society, and this is a kind of ancient form of discourse. Like it's long held. Um, it's prehistoric to some degree, but like I don't know, it's a question of objecthood, rather than this like categorical logic that comes with terms. You know, Jaffa cakes being biscuits or cakes. Like what is the ontology of what is objecthood? You know, that we're projecting on. I would, and is it occasion? Is it ritual that makes these object like that distinguishes a cake from a biscuit? I don't quite know. But where I would pivot this is I would pivot it in lived-in experience. What's more visceral and affective than lived-in experience? And we live in rituals. We inhabit rituals. Like rituals are like emotional spaces. It's like our funeral where we come to mourn. It's a shared emotional space, and I think a Jaffa cake is exactly that too. It's a shared ritual. So I would thereby say this. It's not a cake. A cake is a ritualized as if it's reminiscent of a birthday, whereas a Jaffa cake is biscuit. It's tea time. It's ceremonial. It's temporal.
That was beautifully answered, I have to say.
It was the most sufficient answer I gave today, and it was about fucking Jaffa cakes. I'm so sorry.
No, you gave good questions. You gave good answers. You were excellent.
Thank you, Derek.
And unfortunately, that does us to the end. Everyone
it's the end.
Gets sad reacts in chat. But thank you everyone for watching. This, if you click this link afterwards, you can watch it all again as many times as you want. Technical difficulties and all. Thank you, Kealan, for attending.
If I'm finally, please vote Chairman Kealan, quality officer, on March 10th, please.
So please vote for Kealan, or Ron. You're a psychopath.
That's true.
The important thing is, everybody, that you get out there and you do vote, because that's how you get your voices heard. You get who you want to represent you on that Senate, on that executive committee. So get out and vote. Kealan, is there anything you would like to say in closing?
What I would like to say in closing, naturally vote Dermot Kealan for gender equality officer. Thank you so much, Dermot. You are so funny and so charming, and you make this so easy when my brain is just rattled.
No.
I would just say, I would actually say to everybody, if you haven't this year, next year, run, absolutely run. Your voice is integral and vital and intersectional and interesting. You don't have to know anything about politics or any political structure. The fact that you have lived an experience is vital enough, and the MSU needs you. Good night.
To clarify, you do mean run for Senate, not just run in general, like a marathon.
I mean both, because I tend to run too. But like Senate and the elections, of course. Yeah, and the executive, please. You're vital.
Okay. Well done. Thank you, Kealan, again. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And we'll be back tomorrow with more elections. So thank you, Carrie. So keep your eye on the MarsFM socials. Actually, if anyone's looking at the chat right now, Carrie O'Neill is going to be interviewed tomorrow, also by me. I think that's at 5. Her interview.
My hero.
Hers is actually the first tomorrow, so it's great that she's here. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and good night. Sleep well.
Night. Good night. Good night, Carrie. Good night, everyone. Bye, Jeremy. See you guys.